All right, so tonight we'll start with Insights, and Insights is proudly brought to you by Pepsodent. With Pepsodent, every smile matters. All right, so tonight, allow me some time. Let's talk about the Ghana cedi. Now, the Ghana cedi for years has struggled against the major trading currencies, with recurrent government grappling to find a lasting solution to what could be described as the biggest bane of the economy. Well, despite the November 2022 announcement of the withdrawal of foreign exchange support to goods classified as non-essentials, the suspension of interest payments on foreign loans, and an ongoing IMF support program, that's the cedi, in recent time has been on a 25-day depreciation streak against the US dollar. But how bad is the current performance? Well, my colleague Adam Kojo is with our research desk and comes through with this explainer.
Free fall against the dollar, a conundrum many can't seem to wrap their heads around. Well, when Bloomberg, a global provider of financial news and real-time historical financial data, on May 9th reported the Ghana cedi was on a record-breaking weakening cycle, having not gained versus the dollar in the past 22 trading sessions, one would have thought that that cycle would have come to an end by now. However, the 22-day longest streak, according to data compiled by Bloomberg, going back to 1994, keeps extending. As at Monday, May 13th, the Ghana cedi had still not gained against the dollar in a trading session, although the Bank of Ghana official average rate of buying a dollar at the interbank by close of trading on May 13th stood at 13 cedi, 72 pesos, reflecting in a year-to-date depreciation of 13.4% from the 11.88 Ghana cedi it sold at the beginning of the year. The cedi's depreciation on the retail market is way higher. While the cedi traded at the close of May 13th on Bloomberg for 14 Ghana cedi and 5 pesos, representing a year-to-date depreciation of 14.94%, as it started the year at 11 cedi 95 pesos, you would have needed as high as 14 Ghana cedi, 85 pesos at a regular Forex bureau, a whopping 17.84% depreciation from the 12 Ghana cedi 20 pesos you needed at the beginning of the year. This free fall is despite assertions by government and the finance ministry last November the country had turned the corner. Also, I am sure you would have heard of Vice President Dr. Bawumia's recent interview with Africa Watch, where he argues the government has performed charitably in the management of the cedi, as the currency has depreciated by a yearly average of 13.1% between 2017 and 2023. Well, in just 4.5 months of 2024, these are our depreciation figures. The effects of the depreciation can be seen at the pumps, where you would need as high as 14 cedi and over to buy a liter of petrol or diesel. This price has also resulted in your transport fares going up by excess of 20% in the last month. But one would have thought that this free fall of the cedi would have come to an end when in March, Finance Minister Mohamed Amin Adam announced an inflow of close to $1.2 billion into the Ghanaian economy after government reached an agreement with the IMF and other pending loan agreements. It's been 3 months down the line. There's no $360 million from the IMF. And Parliament, strangely, went on a recess as it was about to approve a $150 million loan facility from the World Bank to support the cedi. Well, until these funds are approved and subsequently get into the Ghana economy, we may continue to see this free fall. Lest I forget, as I was heading here, Bloomberg tells me the cedi traded for 14 cedi, 18 pesos, while the Forex market tells me I need close to 15 Ghana cedi to get a dollar. For GHOne News, I am Adam Kojo.
All right, so tonight, wherever you are, you could share with us how much you are exchanging the Ghana cedi against the dollar at any forex bureau, and we'll really appreciate it. But if the cedi continues to fall against the US dollar, then we would want to find out how this is affecting businesses. Well, the Ghana Union of Traders Association is sounding the alarm over the increasing cost of doing business in the country due to the continuous depreciation of the local currency, that's the Ghana cedi. Well, Guta fears the collapse of more businesses should the trend continue. Joseph Paddy is the public relations officer of Guta.
What are the real challenges why we are experiencing this free fall of the city? Then we can, as a business community, we can collaborate with government to halt it. That is why we put on this statement. That's why we came up with this press release. Yes.
All right, so Joseph Paddy there. But let's get more details of this particular free fall of the local currency. Well, in a bit to find solutions, there has been suggestions for a temporal adoption of the dollar as the country's official currency or a dollarization of the economy. Well, let's get some more perspective and speak to currency analyst and research lead at GCB Capital, Courage Boti, who joins us via Zoom. Courage, thank you for your time tonight. Well, let me find out from you, how troubling is the city's free fall to our market?
Well, quite troubling. Yes, I think the description is quite appropriate, a free fall at this point in time, contrary to the relative stability of the start of the year. I think from my reading of the data and what the traders tell me, it is largely speculative pressure. It is corporate demand from oil market, from other corporate repatriating dividends. These are, I believe, factors contributing. And the speculation, I believe, is driven largely by the uncertainties in an election year and our history, and people are pricing all of that. It has inflationary consequences for us. They have cost of living crisis consequences for us. And that is why we would all hope that the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, and the authorities that we will step in to provide some assurance to the market and stem the free fall.
Well, Courage, it's interesting because it's not the first time I am hearing this. I mean, where people have suggested, look, adopt the dollar for some time. I mean, if you trade in it, maybe it could salvage the situation or something. Or let's dollarize the economy one way or the other. Others fear this could impact negatively. Others fear it could be the solution for us. What is your take on it as a currency analyst?
FX problem, I think, is largely a demand-supply issue, which is basic, but I mean, it's at the core of everything. Where were we getting FX previously? From trade receipts, from interventions from the Bank of Ghana, but that is actually a minute aspect of the whole thing. From portfolio investment inflows, from, if you like, our colleagues, brothers, sisters outside, remittances that come in, FDI inflows and all of that. In this moment where the operating environment is quite challenged, you see portfolio inflows do not come in, almost non-existent. You see that FDI probably are coming in, but not at the rate you expect because the operating environment is quite challenged. So you leave now the Bank of Ghana as the main source of effects on the market. And they are also challenged because reserves are not as strong, right? So their ability to intervene in the volumes required to stabilize the cedi is not there. So what do I think will be appropriate solution? We have used gold for reserve policy to build central bank reserve. What that does is it siphons or direct FX inflows from export receipts from gold and all of that away from the banking system. Because if the dealer sold gold, the proceeds will come through the banking system. And it is those proceeds that will be used to trade within the system. But now, with the Bank of Ghana's intervention to build reserve, those monies are diverted to the Bank of Ghana or parts of it. So can we now think of a gold for reserve policy of a kind where now the commercial banks fund the purchase of gold and and the same institutional arrangement that oversees the gold for reserve policy make sure that those gold are sold and proceeds come back to the banking system to try to improve liquidity in the system as a stopgap measure. And then, of course, the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, providing enough assurances to the market that the reform agenda is on course and the election 2024 will not derail it. I think it is those assurances people need, and immediate liquidity injection. Bank of Ghana alone is not able to do that immediately, but if we can rally the market forces under the umbrella for gold for reserve, making the dollar available within the banks and then within the economy to manage the demand-supply conditions now, I think we could be calming the situation, spending more substantial intervention from the authorities.
Vote for reserve policy. Quite interesting. It is one particular idea that I'd want to see us explore in the coming days when all the ideas are well-fruited and probably is being implemented. But there was this idea also that I think could work, but it's never been implemented well and it's faced its own challenges. And that is the common currency, common West African currency, the ECO. If we pull our resources together, if we come together as a strong economy, the West African states, and pull a common currency, maybe like the French-speaking Francophone countries have done or something. Don't you think this ECO can support us one way or the other?
Well, every currency needs an anchor to be stable. The Francophone West Africa, Francophone Central African currencies are stable largely because of the monetary system they operate, and it finds it backing from France, right? The equal currency conversation and the ECOWAS region needs stability to be able to sustain its currency. So if the same individual economies within the region have unstable macro conditions, talk of Nigeria, talk of Ghana, talk of the others, Burkina, and then all the others, they have similar situations that are high deficits, high rates of inflation, and all the other negative macro conditions that we can talk about. So there's something called convergence criteria. You need all the countries within the region to achieve that convergence to guarantee stability within the region. And that is the only, that is the way an equal currency could be stable. So at this moment, if we introduce an equal as a solution to depreciation, it doesn't solve the problem because the fundamental issues that cause CD depreciation are still prevalent, and they will cause any other currency you adopt to depreciate or to weaken. So we need to fix the fundamental issues first. And so as a region, we need to look at fiscal discipline more seriously. We need to look at monetary policy intervention and then fiscal dominance as an issue quite critically. We need to tackle inflation head-on, and we need to get growth to be consistent. When we do those things and they converge, and there are 5 things they are looking for to converge, if we get those things right and sustainably, then you can roll up a currency on the back of those and you can be sure that it will be relatively stable. But until then, any intervention in that form will just not solve the problem.
Appreciate you tonight. The policy you mentioned is gold reserve policy that needs to be explored. Within the coming days, we will definitely want to look into it if the gold can really serve as a backup for us in sustaining the cedi currency and also ensuring that we have enough FX in our kitty. Well, that will do for Insight for tonight, but we're not done with the stories we have for you. We're coming back with some more local stories. Remember, Insight is proudly brought to you by Pepsodent. With Pepsodent, every smile matters. All right, so if you're just joining us, this is News Tonight. My name is Kweku. Temeng. We'll still have some more local stories for you. And here, the Ghana Publishers Association has served a notice of 40% upward adjustment in their products effective June 2024. Well, this, according to them, is as a result of the exorbitant value-added tax slapped on their materials by government, coupled with the one-ton depreciation of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar. Well, President of the Ghana Publishers Association, Asare Konedu Yamoa, expressed its displeasure against government's monopolization of the current school's textbooks publishing and distribution system by sidelining the association and engaging unknown entities to the industry.
The bill was eventually passed into an act. This amendment imposed VAT on a list of materials that are imported into the country to support education, culture, and lifestyles. These include books and other teaching and learning materials. This decision by government ostensibly is to support the printing of books locally, even though we were not consulted throughout the stages for the passage of the amendment. While this is a laudable strategy and could potentially drive investment and business to the printing sector of the book industry, there is more that needs to be done to bring about the intended advantages. Not all the books required in our schools are published in the country. Most of the books for technical and vocational education, books for tertiary education, and books to support development of the reading culture are mostly imported and cannot be printed locally as they are not published in the country. Therefore, categorizing all of them and those that are indigenously published and printed overseas and imposing a blanket VAT to the levels currently being charged cannot be justified. Coupled with the exchange rate instability, no matter how publishers will do, prices for books will go up.
Well, definitely, if you have children and they are in school, then definitely you should be gearing up to buy books at a higher price. I'm talking about textbooks because, yes, we've heard from the publishers increasing somewhat within a 30% range. Now, joining us over the telephone now is the Deputy Public Relations Officer of the National Council of Parent and Teachers Association. That's Irene Sam. Irene, thank you for joining us tonight. Now, you have expressed displeasure with the latest increment in stationery items. What exactly are your concerns?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Irene. I can hear you.
The line is very thin.
All right, so I can hear you loud and clear. The concerns here is you have children in school. I have children in school. We've had the publishers. They are increasing somewhat within the bracket of 30%. Those are the publishers. And, of course, you're not too happy about it. What are your concerns with the increment in all these textbooks, amongst others?
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, Irene. I'm sure you can hear me, too. No, I don't think Irene can hear me, but we are talking about issues surrounding textbooks. A while ago, we had the Ghana Publishers Association. Of course, they have their concerns. One of them is the depreciating local currency. We've had a discussion on it. Again, the value-added tax and its concerns. Of course, they are not happy about it. And obviously, it is reflecting or going back to the consumer. Let me get to Irene now, who is with the National Association of Parent Teachers Association. Irene, thank you very much for your time. All right, I'm not able to get Irene now. So yes, we've been speaking to some parents, some difficulty here for them. Let's listen to them on the concerns of textbooks prices likely to go up.
40% is too much. On share my get a community and saying about the show artists books the next year. To me, they were higher, for the higher maybe a single parents. Papa, I'm and some talk good English 1.8. I'm only a 3. Oh, imagine a party show books the next year.
This is a normal, I buy a sort chairs and Yapanicho on the young Casabi, and Sada and saying, on share my now. So 40% to say, with the bear on the better to me, Yapanicho on the on share Hokakra and my. Because ye beer coin in Tomuma coin on Musabi beer. Let us say books in Omutumu double, Obu Kiteska, Obu near to my papa Biana said. How open no putting on maybe I want Kodanuna your troubles man Palana. Obey the Agnes Capacoto, Sa boarding, which I mean, none and woo.
We are appealing to our bank to get nearer asset to able to let food prices, everything come down for us to able to buy and able to buy to able to take care of our children. Now food stuff, everything now costs. So we are appealing to our bank to look at it and reduce everything so that we're able to buy things, take care of our kids.
Textbooks so too more. Ebama young so say your salary room is Ombama increasement Ebaka from Kakra Ebia Evan say 10% in go the career, but 40% are not do.
All right, so you can also share your concerns with us on our social media platforms. We'll definitely ensure that the rest of the world hears you. Let's do other stories at this moment. And here, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has announced that the Controller and Accountant General will effect a transfer of some 177 million cedis to the accounts of the Ministry of Health for onward payment to trainee nurses. Well, trainee nurses have petitioned government on several occasions to ensure the payment of their delayed allowances, but speaking at an event to mark the International Day of Nurses and Midwives, the Vice President said the money will be transferred to the Ministry of Health account by Thursday.
Recalling the petitions from trainee nurses about the delay in the payments of allowances and the impact it has had on their practicals, the Vice President announced that the Controller and Accountant General is set to transfer over 177 million cedis for disbursement to them.
I wish to assure our nursing trainees also, because whenever I go, they say Alawa has not yet dropped. And so I engaged the Ministry of Finance, and the minister has in fact sent me the evidence that by Thursday, this Thursday, the controller is transferring 177 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Health to pay the nursing training allowances. So I have also alerted Dr. Okoboi to be on standby. When the money hits the Ministry of Health account, they should move it quickly to the accounts of the nursing trainees so that they will have their alawa. It will drop by the grace of God.
He also announced that the green light has been given for the recruitment of unposted nurses and other incentives for them.
I have confirmed with the Ministry of Finance. Steps are being taken to clear the backlog of unemployed nurses and midwives within the shortest possible time. By August, the clearance will be granted, I am told, for the hiring, the recruitment of that. Notwithstanding the backlog, however, let me put on record that our government has provided the highest number of employments to our nurses, unprecedented in our history. So far, we've recruited over 100,000 nurses.
President of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, on her part, appealed to the government to be swift with the financial clearance and other initiatives to ensure the nurse is comfortable.
We've had several engagements with the Ministries of Health and Finance, and we have indication that very soon the financial clearance will be issued for their employment. And this is a very good news for us, and we are keeping our fingers crossed. We need a befitting structure for the Ghana College of Nurses and Midwives to enable more of our colleagues to be trained as specialists. And we do not end there. We also want to see a day where government can pick up, if not fully, part of their fees, which is quite high for them to be able to go through the training.
She also appealed to the cabinet to approve the rural incentive package for nurses and midwives.
There is the need, an urgent need, and we plead with you, Your Excellency, that Cabinet should approve the rural incentive package developed by the Ministry of Health with support from the World Health Organization.
This year's International Nurses and Midwives Day is under the theme Nurses and Midwives, Our Future and Economic Power of Care.
All right, so let's talk about other matters. And here, the National Security has cautioned against the constant bombardment of its call center in charge of the See Something, Say Something campaign by serial pranksters. Well, according to the team lead for the campaign, Kester Osei-Mensah, since the launch of the See Something, Say Something campaign in year 2022, the center receives regular prank calls from the public, of which students are the worst culprits. Well, the campaign team is therefore advising the public to desist from placing prank calls, but rather to report cases that will result in the arrest of criminals.
In a bid to increase awareness and vigilance in thwarting potential terrorist attacks among students, churches, and the general public, the Ministry of National Security has intensified its See Something, Say Something campaign in the northern region ahead of the election in 2024 using the acronym SALUTE. This makes it easier for people to describe suspicious acts when they call the emergency line. In an interview, the team member of the See Something, Say Something campaign, Kester Osei-Mensah, cautioned the general public against placing prank calls to the emergency toll-free number 999. He noted that the prank calls obstruct legitimate distress calls.
We realize that especially with the students, with the young ones, whenever we engage or whenever we're on the ground, there's a spike or uptick in the prank calls. In one way, it's a positive sign for us to know that yes, the message has sunk in, they know the number and all that. But on the other side, unfortunately, it affects us picking or pinpointing the genuine calls from the prank calls. So the message out there is we are pleading with the society, we're pleading with Ghanaians, not to abuse the system, because you never know. It could be you the next time, and because you have pranked the system or somebody has pranked the system, we might not respond to yours genuinely. So please, let's desist from pranking the system and ensure that we only see something, or we call 999 when we see something suspicious and we're waiting for a response.
Reported as one of the culprits among the plethora of prank calls are students. The news team sought to gauge their thoughts on the See Something, Say Something campaign.
I am my Guinness World. We were watching the television then. They advertise about it, and then they show some pictures of criminals or something which is not good for the people of the country. Then they say if you see something, then say something. And I've been seeing it, but
because your area ma send you be reported. I'll make my chest and call for no my short code, which is 999. So your fresh 999, I'll make my chest and call. No, I'm saying I said like maybe you go to a place, you see a bag somewhere. And you can say over touches our bag. No. First you have to call that number before. So they'll come and check. Even if nothing is there, it's better. They'll come and check. If nothing is there, they'll go. You are free.
However, Kumbungu and Savelugu municipal assemblies boycotted the team's engagement in the municipalities for the reason that it was a weekend and they were not allowed to work. GHOne News can confirm that official letters were served to the two municipalities.
It's now time for us to bring you business, and business news is brought to you by Bill's Microcredit. All right, so President General of KOA Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, Professor Samuel Ato Duncan, has called on the public and consumers to purchase KOA products only from authorized distributors to ensure authenticity and quality. Well, this comes on the back of recent concerns of unscrupulous entities exploiting the KOA brand to promote their products. Well, speaking at a press conference, Professor Samuel Ato Duncan said his outfit is actively collaborating with the Food and Drugs Authority to punish persons responsible for overpricing, false advertising, and misrepresentation of its products.
We have recently discovered unauthorized marketing materials falsely promoting Kwame and Kwa Plus as cures for various diseases, including cancer, kidney disease, HIV, and others. It's crucial to understand. Working with the FDA to protect consumers, we are actively collaborating with the FDA to identify and hold accountable those responsible for this false advertising. We pledge to provide consumers with precise details and guarantee responsible use of our products. So if you have conditions that you feel that you need me, we have a healthcare clinic that you can come to us for us, but don't go and buy any medicine and tell them that, oh, I say it is cure for that and that.
Let's do more stories in business, and here toilet soap brand Geisha, in celebrating selfless efforts of mothers, has embarked on an appreciation drive for Mother's Day. Well, the initiative, which took place at the Makers House Chapel International, had mothers who attended Sunday's service rewarded with products from the company.
From heartfelt messages to thoughtful gifts, the Mother's celebration by Geisha Soap was a testament to love and appreciation for mothers.
Thank you, my love son, and you are the best mom in the world. Your love makes you the best mom ever. You use your time to help us, teach us, etc. You are wise, you are beautiful, you are good, you are the best mom ever. I love you. Amen. Thank you so much.
As a brand that cherishes the unflinching efforts and bravery of mothers, Geisha puts smiles on the faces of the mothers with the presentation of hampers and Geisha soaps at the Makers House Chapel International. Speaking at the Mother's Day outreach, brand's marketing manager for Geisha Soap, Derek Odishi Bosman, emphasized the unwavering commitment of Geisha Soap and its connection to mothers' long-lasting care.
Today we are here at the Makers Chapel, located at Atomic. We are here to celebrate mothers. This is part of Geisha's purpose. You know, at Unilever, we believe that brands with purpose grow. And at Geisha, we believe that mothers play a very crucial role in today's world and in today's society. We believe that our soap is a strong soap that has long-lasting care. Hence our tagline, Olastama. And a better way to depict our brand mantra, Olastama, is to tell people about the kind of love that a mother has for the child.
Some mothers shared fond memories of motherhood and experiences using Geisha soap.
It's really good. As a mother, if I'm sad and I see my kids, no matter what trouble I'm going through, the moment I set my eyes on my children, I become excited. So motherhood, for me, it is good.
You are really there for a mother's love, and you've shown us the truth to your brand. A mother's love lasts and lasts and lasts, and we are happy to be recognized by Geisha and to also get the lovely hampers that you brought to us.
Motherhood has been exciting. Today being a Mother's Day, you know, early this morning, before I got up from bed, I had a beautiful card from my two daughters saying they love me, they appreciate their efforts in caring for them. So I want to take this opportunity to say a very big Mother's Day to all mothers, potential mothers, single mothers. We say Happy Mother's Day and God bless our efforts.
The celebration was even more remarkable as the mothers got the opportunity to interact with brand influencers and also take memorable pictures. Beyond giving women value for money, Geisha Soap has shown a commitment towards mothers by saluting the strength and resilience that they exhibit in daily life.
A big thank you to Bill's Microcredit for bringing us the business news. We're coming back with some sports update. Do stay with us. All right, so if you love soccer, then I have some great news for you coming up shortly in sports. Well, the national under-17 side, the Black Starlets, will on Wednesday kickstart the Wafu Zone African Cup of Nations against Cote d'Ivoire at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, where the tournament is scheduled to take place from May 15 to May 28, 2024. Well, we have more in this report.
Ghana will battle Cote d'Ivoire and Benin in Group A, while Group B consists of Nigeria, Togo, Burkina Faso and Niger. The Black Starlets will open their campaign at the University of Ghana Stadium at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Head coach of the side, Lai Kingston, is optimistic his lads will execute the mission to clinch the trophy. Having fine-tuned preparations in Russia, the Black Starlets are speedily gearing up to book a ticket to the next edition of the CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. Meanwhile, champions Nigeria will square off with Burkina Faso on Thursday, May 16, 2024, before Togo takes on Niger on match day 2.
Meanwhile, the Black Starlets coach Lai Kingston has named his 20-man squad for their match against Cote d'Ivoire. Well, the team includes Joseph Nabi, Ernest Ofori, Michael Ama, Hamza Idrisu, amongst others. Well, the Black Starlets have been undergoing intensive training at the Ghanaian Center of Excellence in Pram, to prepare for the tournament. Under Kingston's guidance, the team have participated in a series of friendly matches against lower-tier sides and recently competed in the UEFA Under-16 Invitational Tournament in Russia. Okay, at this moment, we'll refresh you with some entertainment on GHOne. All right, so 3-time Grammy nominee and global reggae icon Rocky Dawuni asserts that the conferment of the American singer Stevie Wonder with citizenship will create a unique facelift of the Ghanaian music industry. Well, the 25 Grammy Award record producer was bestowed with Ghanaian citizenship on Monday, May 13, 2024. Rocky Dawuni says the Stevie Wonder allegiance to the state is a true testament to Ghana's unique culture. He made these assertions at the birthday dinner of the artist in Accra.
Stevie's citizenship is a plus for Ghanaian music because just by association right now, Ghanaian music shares a legendary figure with the rest of the world. Ghanaian music has a representative who is an icon that is revered all around the world, across generations. Ghanaian music now has a big brother and a father figure who will be a big inspiration for all our youth, all our upcoming musicians. So for me, it is a victory not only for Ghana, but for the rest of Africa. Because for me, Stevie choosing Africa as a place of citizenship does not necessarily mean that he's exclusive to Ghana. He's exclusive to the continent of Africa.
Well, a 1-year-old Ghanaian, Ace Liam, has secured the world record for the youngest male artist by a Ghanaian artist. Well, the child attempted the Guinness World Record in Accra between January 18 and January 20, 2024. The record was held by a 3-year-old. Well, this achievement was announced at a press conference on Tuesday, May 14, 2024, in a statement sent by the Guinness Record Management team. It reads, "We are thrilled to inform you that your application for youngest artist male has been successful and you are now the Guinness World Record title holder," indicating that he is now eligible for a complimentary certificate. Well, congratulations to the 1-year-old Ace Liam. He becomes the youngest male artist. Let's do some international stories at this moment. Earmarked for demolition but now collapsed, at least 4 people were rescued from the rubble of the collapsed building in the Mathare neighborhood of Kenya's capital, on Tuesday. 3 of them were critically injured, while 1 person sustained minor injuries. Well, the Kenya Red Cross has said more people were likely to be trapped in the rubble. Well, the building was undergoing demolition when it collapsed. The Red Cross said Kenya has experienced unprecedented rains and flooding recently, prompting the government to order people to move to higher grounds. The building has been recently vacated and was ordered to be demolished as it was too close to a river, according to local authorities. All right, so we'll say a big thank you to you for staying with us throughout the bulletin. On behalf of the entire production team tonight, I would want to salute you and say a big thank you. Of course, great programs are on this channel, so keep your channel right here, because right after the news, we have more programs. My name is Kweku. Enjoy the rest of your evening.